Nothing unusual was meant to happen in Henford-on-Bagley on this day. The rain was falling, which is never a rare sight in this village. The villagers were performing their daily duties. The village square was its usual busyness for this hour in the morning. The postman was making his rounds. People were walking to work. All in all, a rather usual day in Henford-on-Bagley. However, over at Haden Hall, something sinister had happened. Lord Arthur Haden Cromwell, a figure of great influence and respect within the community, lay lifeless in his study. The once warm room felt cold and besmirched into a chilling silence, disturbed only by the faint sounds of rain against the window and the soft ticking of the grandfather clock. This wasn't a death of natural means. Arthur was murdered. The news of Lord Arthur's demise spread through the village like wildfire. Whispers of speculation and concern rippled through the tight-knit community after learning of Detective Miller's findings. Muddy boot prints leading up to the house. The smashed study window. A crowbar and a hammer. Muddy boot prints leading to the study. Signs of a struggle. A poison-laced glass with the poison that was used. A knife with blood on it, not belonging to Lord Arthur. A book placed strategically on the floor titled Revenge of the Heart. A note on the desk simply stating, "I'm sorry," and scuff marks on the panelling presumed to be the murderer's escape route. But even with all of these clues, the murderer was still on the loose and living within the community, which is where this story begins. Arthur was laid to rest by his family at St. Padstow Church on a cold and rainy day. He leaves behind a wife, 2 teenage sons, and a daughter, who have since shut themselves away from the community in mourning. Lady Hilary Haden Cromwell was married to Arthur for over 30 years. They had a distant relationship, only growing even more distant over the years. She was questioned by Detective Miller, but was known to be in the village square perusing baked goods at the time of his murder. Their daughter, Elizabeth, has come home to live and help her mother through this difficult time. She was also questioned, but was away at the University of Britechester, where she studies agriculture. Their middle child, Alistair, was meant to be at school during the time of the murder, but being the problematic child he is, he was skipping school with some of his schoolmates, who were also questioned. Their youngest, Arthur, was in school when he learned of the bad news from his mother, and raced home to be by her side. So we have a murder, no lead, a sleepy countryside community in turmoil, and a grieving family to start this save file. So let's get into game and make a start on the Haden Cromwell family home, Haden Hall, known now as Murder Manor. Well, hello there, my darlings. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to Let's Build the Worlds. We are finally here with Henford-on-Bagley, the newest save file, and we're going to be here for quite a while, I would imagine. These save files sometimes take up to a year to complete, and this one is a little bit different. It's a little bit more of a murder mystery save file, and the story will start to unfold itself the more we move around the map and actually introduce all of the villagers and the residents of this save file into the mix. And I'm very excited about this, very excited indeed. I have got a big spider web map of all of the intricacies of this murder and all of the ghastly things that went on at Haden Hall. And I'm really looking forward to creating this save file. This is definitely going to be a bit of me, so I'm definitely going to bring some inspiration from the places that I live around, including houses and stuff, and including some of the characters as well. I'm going to take some characters from my childhood maybe and just put it into the mix and hope for the best with this. I'm very excited for it. Very excited indeed. So where we start today is at Haden Hall, which is home to the Haden Cromwell family. I've just introduced you to them and the ghastly happening in the study. But we're going to be building the actual manor house for the next few weeks, I would imagine. I do have an idea on how I want Haden Hall to look. I have got a couple of reference images. We'll have a look at them once we get over to the build mode and I'll show you them there. But for now, what we're going to do, we're going to flop on over to the map view. And I'm just going to point out a few areas of interest on where we're going to be building, just so you can get a feel for this save file before we move on and make a start on the build. And so here we are, my darlings, on the map for Henford-on-Bagley, and the map is completely blank at the minute. So we've got a lot of building to do. I have got a lot of great ideas for some of the houses I want to actually put on this lot. I'm so looking forward to getting into a save file where the primary thing is just building, because with San Myshuno, I loved it, but it was a lot of furnishing going on. I didn't get a chance to put my juices into actually building, which is my favorite thing. And we've got lots of lots here to be able to build on. Yes, we do. We're starting up here. This is where Haden Hall is going to be. This is in the Bramblewood area. And this is the more sort of like Highland looking area with the waterfalls and the woods and stuff. We're going to be building some gorgeous cottages on these lots over here. Maybe something else as well. I'm not going to spoil too much. I'm going to spoil a couple. We are going to be building a village. So the 64 by 64 lot in the area of Old New Henford is going to be a village or a hamlet, the hamlet of Whittington. So because with for rent now that it's working, hopefully, we're able to have multiple different houses on one lot. So I'm definitely going to be building a little village with all little like miners' cottages and maybe a tiny little pub, all of that kind of good stuff on one lot. So I'm really looking forward to getting on with that one. And then down into Finchwick, which is the kind of village area of Henford-on-Bagley. I want to do shops. I want to do a row of townhouses. I want to do a pub. We are going to keep the pub's name. I love the Gnome's Arms. That was the pub that I actually built for this expansion pack. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. But we are going to be doing our own pub on this lot as well. And I am going to be calling it the Gnome's Arms as well, because I just think that's a great name. It really is. But there's going to be so much into the save file. So many different families and residents to introduce you to. I'm really looking forward to it. And as I said, this is where we're going to make a start today with the Haden Cromwell family over at Haden Hall. So let's get to the lot in question. I'm going to show you a couple of reference images. And as always with the first part, we're just going to make a small start on some of the exterior work. And we're going to go from there. And so here we are in the little area of Bramblewood. Which, as I said, it's almost reminds me of the Highlands in Scotland. It's got that kind of vibe to it to me. Not perfectly, not by any means, but it kind of gives it that kind of vibe. That's all I'm going to say. And here we are making a start on Haden Hall. So this is a 50 by 40 lot. It's usually the national park here. And the reason I wanted the house here is it's kind of tucked away from everything else. This manor, I would imagine, has been here for many years. I do have a couple of reference images that I'm going to flop up for you now. This is a manor house in Devon called Medland Manor. It is a private house as well. It's not like part of the National Trust or anything, so you can't go and visit and stuff. A family actually do live in this house. I just love the look of it. I really do like the look of it. Now, from what I can tell, it was built in the 1900s. I want to make ours look a little bit older than that. So I'm going to go down a route of making it look a little bit more gothic than this. Maybe have a little bit more of a castle frontage to it as well. We're just going to take inspiration from this house because I just love the shape of it. I really do. I also want to try and get some stables in here because with Hilary and Elizabeth, they both love to ride. So I really want to get some stables in here for some horses. And Hilary is also a horse trainer by trade. I know we can't be that, but that's just in the storyline for me. She's a horse trainer. And now they're kind of living it off of the family money. Now that Arthur has passed away. Now don't get confused. There are two Arthurs in this family. The youngest son is also named after his dad. Just to make... That does happen quite a lot in aristocratic families. And I thought we'd make it apparent here as well. So I'm really looking forward to this. Very much so indeed. Now, as I said, we don't really tend to get loads done in the first part, but we're going to make a start on the front exterior, I think, today, and just get some windows and doors and roof pieces and stuff on and get rolling, to be honest with you. So let's crack on. Here we go. Let's make a start on Haden Hall. Now, I'm going to make a start with the front door area. I think I want to go down the route of having a 4 wide one there, and I'm going to build it quite close to the front here. I'm not going to have so much of a big sort of area in the front because as I said, I do want to get some stables and stuff in the back here, so I just need to be wary of that. I'm going to go in about 3 here, and that's that kind of front bit, and then we're going to come across here. This all may be subject to change as the build progresses, just so I can make sure that everything's working with scaling and stuff. Then I'm going to come across another 3, maybe a 4 there. We'll go, oh no, that was a 4 there. We'll come across a 5 there instead. 5 there, and then I'm going to bring this one out. It doesn't really do that in the reference image, but I'm going to do it here just to make it a little bit more interesting with the Sims. You know, sometimes you got to do these things. Let's bring you around the front here. And then we're going to keep going across here. So I want to get a chimney breast in the front here. So I'm going to do a 2. I'm just going to rise this all the way up. I'm going to go up 3. We're going to keep all of the wall heights at a medium. And then I'm going to go up another one there with a short. Just so we've got a big chimney breast right in the front. I think that's going to work. I don't know if I want to make that a 3 there, you know. I think that's what I'm going to do, which is very annoying. We're going to have to come back down. And I'm going to make it a 3 on either side here. So 1, 2, 3 here. And then another 3 there. And then I'm going to come out again like we did over on this side. And how many is that there? That's 6 there. So I'm going to do I want it to be equal? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay. So we need to map this back now. Now we don't have side views of this. So I think for the minute, what I'm just going to do is just drag it down, and I can make that more interesting as the build progresses. But we do have a back reference image, which I'm going to try and make look as interesting as possible. I think this might be a little bit too big, you know. I think we need to just bring it down slightly like that. And then I can come out with bump outs on this side as well. So I'm going to do one here. So we can have it going all the way back. This may make it look a little bit different to the reference image, but I'm fine with that. Sometimes it's nice to get inspiration and not make it look exactly like it. That's what I like to do anyway sometimes. And I'm going to do the same here as well. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 6? Yes, it is. Bring you into there. And then there's almost kind of a flatter piece like going along to there. And then it kind of opens out. Oh, not too much, but I am going to come up a bit more forward than these here. I might come out a little bit more than that. I'd also like to get a greenhouse with this build as well. So I definitely want to leave room for a greenhouse. Now that we've got this kind of like mapped out, I can see here that we've got enough room for the stuff I want to put there. So I'm okay. We're ready. We're rolling. Cover girl. Don't know why cover girl, but you know, cover girl. Yes. Okay. Happy. We got the first floor done. Now, this does come up of the top here, so I am going to do that. I think what I am going to do, though... I don't know. I think, actually, maybe if I go in like that... No, I think we need to come out. I am going to pull this out one more than what was planned, shall we say. Just so I can get that real kind of like castle element on the top of this. Again, we want it to be like that. Let's get that chimney breast in as well while we're here. And then flop you up to there like that. Let me see this. Yeah, I think this could work. I honestly do. And then we need to go through and get in all of these mapped out as well. So I'm just going to put in boxes at the minute. And I know this is the boring way to build, but you can always add in elements and interest after you've actually got the big kind of like box built, to be honest with you. So that's what I'm going to do. I am, and you can't stop me, because why? Because you are not my mum. Do I want to... Oh, that's going to be a double height there. So I think I'm going to bring this over to this way. Excuse you. Come across to here. And then go into there like that. Yes. Because then what we could do is cube this one too. Have an interesting roof line on top of there. Or at least from the front. We'll work it out. It'll all be fine. Okay. Yep. I think this could work. I think this is going to work. And then you're going to come round. You're going to go to there. All of this is just going to be mapped in, I think. I'm not going to have any kind of like balcony or anything off of this house. I don't want it to be that kind of vibe, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to bring this all the way around and map this in. Huge manor. But this family is very well to do. Very well to do indeed. We've definitely got a few aristocratic families coming into this save file, so be on the look-see. Okay, so you can see it just looks like a big box at the minute, but I think where the interest is going to come from this is, one is going to be the roof line itself, and two is going to be once we get into elements, and maybe even like back here I could add on bay windows and stuff. Like it's going to be that kind of vibe, so that's what we're going to do. Yes, we are indeed. Let's get some roof pieces going. So I'm going to make a start here first on the main roof. That's probably going to reach across the whole house, to be honest. We're going to tuck in all flaps. And I'm going to bring you all the way across. Tuck in those flaps as well, if you would. Now, I'm worried with this. It's going to be a little bit too wide. Yeah, it does look too wide. So I think what I probably need to do is add in 2 roof lines. And I'll figure out that in just a second. But for now, we're going to keep it as it is for the minute. I really don't like the way these bay windows are looking. And that's, as I've got the roof on, it's made me look at that and think, that's not right. That doesn't look good. So what I'm going to do now is reduce the size of these bay windows just by 1 on each edge. And I think that will just make it look a little bit less boxy as well. It's just going to be changing and adapting as we build along. And do you know what? I'm absolutely fine with that. I really am. Let me see that. Yeah, that's a bit better. And again, I think it's going to change once again once we've got these roof lines on the front here like this. So we're going to continue on with that. Yes, we bloody are indeed. So first things first, what I want to do is get the bay window roof line sorted. So these are quite high and they're very flat and they've got that kind of vibe in them. And they do go up quite a bit. I think I want to maybe bring them to around about there. It's kind of changed the shape of it for me since I've like made it less wide, because if it was here, it would go up a little bit more higher and match in with what we've got. But that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And then I can bring you and tuck you in into there like that, and then copy this one and flop it over to the other edge like that. Yes, indeed. And as I said, with this area here, I did want to make it look a little bit more castle-y. It's going to be the vibe. So I do want to use the battlement fence from the Castle Estate kit. And we're going to be building this whole build in a brown sort of tone, like this colour here, which is where you probably saw little glimpses of what I used on the exterior in the intro. I think that could work. Once we've got pillars and stuff there, I think it could work even better. Yes. And then there's also another roof line in this part here. But I'm wondering whether to use 2 separate pieces or just go ahead and use the same piece that we've used on the other bay windows. Let me see what this is going to look like. No, that one needs to go in one. It needs to be central to the chimney breast. I think this could be okay, actually. How high are you? You do go up quite high, up to like this kind of chimney area, really. Let me see this. Do you know what? I think that could work. Once we've got the chimney on there as well, it's going to be a lot higher. I think that could work in our favour. And I am going to come back here and get rid of those exact same pieces that I did for the front bay windows, which in turn allows me to just drag that roof line straight across from here as well. Now, don't worry about all of this yet. I'm going to figure out this roof before we move on to anything else. I think it'll all come together once we do that. Now, I had a change of heart with the roof line here. I've decided to go for a little bit more of a similar one to the actual reference image itself. Because I think what I'm going to do is, I do not like how this looks at the minute. We're going to be working on this probably a little bit off of camera. But I do want to bring the castle element to the back of the house. I'm just not sure how I want to do the back of the house just yet. But what I am going to do is do some bay windows. I know we've done big bay windows like this, but I think just to make the build look even more interesting, I'm going to bring out the windows even more so on these points here. Yes. And the same over to this point here, which in turn I'm probably going to do around the back as well. But I don't like the back in a minute, so I'm going to leave the back alone and we're going to concentrate on the front for the rest of the bloody video. Yes, we are indeed. So first things first, we need some wallpapers, some windows and some doors. Wallpapers, windows and doors. So here we go. Let's get some windows and doors on the actual build itself. So I think what I want to do is I love the two big windows like here. They look great next to the chimney breast. So I'm going to flop two in like that. Lovely. And then there's two smaller ones down below it as well. So I'm going to flop you into there like this. That's really lovely. That's all I wanted to add just from the reference image. I think we're going to go to town on the rest of it by putting in our own stamp, to be honest. So I'm going to do a small window there. And I'm going to keep the small window here as well, just so it's a little bit different. Yes, that's nice. And then above it, I was either thinking about putting this one on, like right on the floor level, with the door below it, or going for a little bit more of this kind of vibe instead. Let's see what one I prefer. Oh, I think I like that one a little bit more. Yeah, I do. I prefer that one. That might get used in the back or something, so I'm going to keep that there. Yep, that's rather lovely. Rather lovely indeed. Really is. And we're going to put more windows on these bits here. So I'm going to copy what we did over on that side and flop two of these. Is that a little bit too high? Yes. You down to there like that. And I'm going to do smaller windows here. I might actually try and squeeze in two windows on these pieces. Let me see what that would look like. Yeah, I could put them like that. That's lovely. And the same here as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I think that's the vibe. It really is. I do want some kind of window on these parts here as well, but I haven't really found a window for them just yet because I want to get a roof line and stuff on there first. So, roof tiles. Let's get this on as well. That would make a big difference. So I'm going to go for these here. I tried some of like the dirtier sort of like greeny looking ones from werewolves, but I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. Let's have a little look. I mean, I do like it, and it would make sense it being kind of like covered in moss considering it's out in the middle of nowhere, but I don't know. We'll keep it like that for the minute and we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll change it, maybe I won't. It's all very exciting. So I think I want to put this one at the bottom because it's darker on the bottom, this one, or do we hang on, let's get this one on first. We're going to flop you around like that all the way. I'm just going to wrap it all the way around for the minute, and then I could put on this one, couldn't I? Let's have a little look at you. We're going to put the darker on the top, the kind of ombre looking one on the middle. I think that's going to be the vibe. And then the lighter bit on the bottom. Yes, that's the ticket right there, my darlings. Yes, it is a toad. In fact, I might bring the whole darker down on the chimney breast itself. Yes. Getting that on the top, the darker on the top there, darker on the top there. Oh, this is going to be a vibe. It really is. Yes, it is. Very much feeling that. Get rid of you then, and then I can just copy them around the back once we get to the actual back itself. So, we do need to get in some roof trims because I'm not liking how that's looking. I think I'm going to go for you. Yep, let's have a little looky. A little look-ski. Let me see that. Yeah, that's the ticket right there. Abso-bloody-lutely. I think once we've got chimneys and stuff on here as well, I think it's all going to it's going to come together in a marvellous, marvellous way. It really will. But first things first, we need some roof lines for these bay windows. And I'm going to use a half-hipped roof. Pull you down. We're going to do a shift and C. And then I'm going to do this, just so it kind of blends in with this shape, what we've got going on here with this roof. Because it's a little bit different shaped to the rest of the house. And I'm just wondering, is that going to work? Let me see. I think it will. I think I might have gone up a little bit too tall, though. I think we need to bring it down maybe 3. Let me see that. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Let's grab you, my darling. Come on over. You have won a prize of $4 million. No idea. Absolute no idea. Right. And then I'm going to flop on you and get you onto that level there. And then that gives us enough space on that area as well to put windows in at the top here, which I'm going to grab out now. And I'm wondering, actually, what about using the Castle Estate smaller window there, you know, and flopping them just above it? Oh, I kind of liked it being cut out. Oh, smaller. Yes. Because I don't want the full one, I don't think. No. Just having like a smaller one there. I think that's right. There we go. Yes, that's the ticket. That is the ticket. The lighting is a bit off here, but you can. This is going to be a dramatic looking house. It very much is. I think using this chimney here from the For Rent. Is that from For Rent? Or... No, that's from Growing Together. Yes. And then we can go in and add a half wall that I think would cover it. This one? Oh, yes. And then plop this brick into the interior like that. Yes, that's the ticket. I just like the chimney pots and that. I think they're kind of dramatic and kind of gothic looking, which is what the route I want to go down with this. I really do. And I do want to use the trim that came with Castle Estate, the battlement frieze, but I'm wondering what one to use. Oh, I love it on the bay windows. What about everywhere? Oh, I do like it everywhere as well. Well, that's what we're going to do then. Do I want to use this one or do I want to go for the cleaner looking one? I kind of think, like, realistically, it would be a bit more dirtier because the water would run down on it. So maybe using the darker one. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the darker one and put it everywhere. Yes. Oh, that's pulled that together really nicely, actually. I do like that. Yes. Maybe at the top as well. I don't know if I could get... Oh, no, I do like it up there. I don't have to go around on the bay window, though. That's fine. But I can go around on the actual main house bit like that. Yes, that's very nice. Oh, that's added something delicious to it. It really has. I really do like that. But I think I just want to try having this cleaner one at the bottom. Let me see this. And then the dirtier one at the top. The weathered one. Oh, I do like that. We're going to do that. I've decided, and that is what we're going to do. Yes, we are indeed. Yeah, that's added something really nice to it. Really has. I'm thinking columns as well for the front entrance area. So we are going to use the Castle Estate columns. I just can never see them because I don't know where they are in the build and buy just yet. So if I can plop you there. Yes, we're going to use the cleaner ones down the bottom. And then I'm going to use the more marked ones up on the top level here. Just so it kind of matches in with the wallpaper as best as what we possibly can. Let me see this. I don't really like the cleaner ones at the bottom. They almost look a bit too much of a different colour. So I'm going to... Oh, no, I don't like that either. We're going to keep it as it is. I'm being extra fussy. Extra fussy indeed. Yeah, I like it. It's coming together now. As I said, I want to work on the back bit here. I do like it with the wallpapers on now. And I think adding in more of the elements that we've got through the front would really, really help. But we're probably going to concentrate on that tomorrow more than now. So we'll move on to that a little bit later. I am going to add a little bit of an extension onto each side, I think, though. Just a single story. It doesn't need to go up double. Just so we can get a little bit more of a different roof line on each edge. I think it would really, really help. And then I'm going to do the same just on this front bit here. Maybe come out a little bit longer here. Oh, I need to remember to leave room for a wall because I do want to put a wall around this lot. There we go. I did it. There we are. Stunning. Let's get the wallpapers on. Beautiful. Now I don't know what roof line to use on these bits just yet, so I'm going to have a little play around. Half hipped. Half hipped was the way to go with those roof lines. And I like how they look. I really do. I'm going to add a window onto the side area, I think. Let me see. Is that a bit too... No, that's fine. I thought that was going to be a bit too big, but it's absolutely fine. I think I'll add another one here. If not a door, maybe there. Maybe like a little bit of a side entrance. We'll see what happens with that. And I'm also, finally, to finish off this part, because we've whiffled on a bit with this part. I think I want to do a little bit more of a dramatic entrance here. Yes. And then can I wrap you around here? You're not going to go there, are you? Because you are an asshole. So what I'm going to do is just build out, get the full room going, and then go in with that and pop that down there. Bring that brick. I'm going to be getting rid of most of that. I'm going to wrap it anyway. Because I do want to get some kind of archway here, I think. I think that's what I want to do. Nope, I lied. I don't want that. I want the pillars there instead. So I'm still going to have that like dramatic entrance. But I would love a couple of cheeky pillars there. I'm not going to raise it up on any kind of foundation or anything. This build, I don't think it needs it. It does not need it at all. I'm going to move you up now. And I think what I want to do is bring in this and go for a bit of a dramatic fence up here. Like that. Oh, I think that's going to work beautifully. Let me see that. Yes. Yes, that's what I wanted. Do I want to drag that roof line across it as well? Let's have a look. Always good. Always. Yeah. Always good to try things. I was just about to say. And I tried it. Didn't like it. So it's not going there. I'm going to bring that down again. Yeah, that's nice. I do enjoy that. That's just added something a little bit different. It really has. Okay. Well, this is where I'm going to leave it today. We've made a start on the actual build itself. As I said, for tomorrow, I'm going to work out what I want to do with this back area here. I don't like the way that this is looking. I do want some kind of castle element. I may even come out longer on one side. I think that could make it look a little bit more interesting. That looks a little bit too symmetrical and I'm not feeling it, but I just needed something there for now. And we're going to concentrate more on the exterior this week. I think there's going to be a lot of exterior work going on. And that's what we're going to do. But for today, this was our introduction to the new Henford-on-Bagley save file. And I'm very excited for this. I really, really am. Anyway, my darlings, thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow also, we're going to come in and I'm going to introduce the family a little bit better. Didn't want to do that today because you kind of saw that they're mourning at the minute. Thank you. So I will come in and introduce the family and tell you their personalities a little bit more tomorrow. Forgot to mention that, but that's what I'm going to be doing. And we'll continue on with this exterior work. So lovely. Leave me some lovely comments down below. And I'll see you all in the next part. Goodbye.